Welcome back, family. You know what I need y'all guys to do. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me, guys. My channel is growing. Despise not small beginnings. You understand? Hit the like button. Hit the share button. Comment, family. I'm trying to get into the YouTube algorithm. YouTube tripping sometime, but I'm going to keep peddling it anyway. Support my channel by going to the Cash App, guys, and donating there. It's $Drummer1980. I do appreciate you in advance. You also can support my channel by clicking on the super thanks located under the video, guys. Donating there as well. And like how I tell each and every one of y'all, I do appreciate you tenfolds over, hands down. I'm proud that you're rocking with me. Well. You can't keep a good man down. That's what they always tell me. Well, family, you know my motto already. What is it? I don't make believe. I make believers. I'm your gracious host, Drummer 1980, hailing from the Carolinas. Where at in the Carolinas? Columbia, South Carolina. If you're looking for me, I hope you're having a good day today. If not, you know the old adage. Ask yourself why you're not having a good day. And remember this. Happiness is an inside job, and it will always be an internal affair. Well, guys, we back today again with another reaction from my man Tariq, Nasheed, WACK100, Captain, and Adad22. This was a pretty good conversation, even though me personally, I think WACK100 interjected a little bit too much because he didn't let the guests get their points all out. But other than that, it was a pretty good discussion. So I'm gonna call your attention to the screen and I will comment between clips. It's gonna be a lot of them, guys, all right? Get your popcorn ready and let's have a conversation. Let's go.
Can we follow that thread?
Yeah.
Very acclaimed Black intellectual Charleston White has had some things to say about that gang topic. He said that American gangs, the Bloods and the Crips, are way more effective than the Ku Klux Klan ever was in terms of basically destroying the fabric of Black culture. Can we get some thoughts on that? I'd love to know what everybody says about that.
I will put them, listen, and I like the way you came with that because it needs to be addressed.
I would just love to know.
Even though it was a white guy's ploy, but it's a good one. I wouldn't say more, but I would say they goddamn in the same lane. I'm not going to fight that.
The Klan has basically been marginalized. It doesn't seem like they have much going on, right?
What do I always say about Martin Luther King? And I say it. I don't know if you ever heard me say this.
No.
I say Martin Luther King, what I wouldn't have done is died for the cause he died from, knowing what I know now.
Right.
Why? He fought for segregation.
No, integration.
Anyway, he fought for desegregation, right?
Right.
And what did we do? This man died at 39, 40, left his wife and kids behind. Blood, we better not catch you at that school. Cuz we better not catch you at that park. We turn around and segregate ourselves. Literally, it's literally places where people say, man, don't go over there, the Bloods over there, or the Pirus over there, or the Crips is over here. Earlier today, when you told me, I said, y'all going to where? I said, you can't go over there. Right? So it's kind of like, and like I was a part of that problem. Right? And I don't fight Charleston White on that. Because I feel like
that the Bloods and Crips did more damage
because
than
I can't lie. When I get up and I leave my home and I'm going places, if I see a group of white people, right, I don't think problem.
Right.
But if I see a group of Black people, I prepare myself that it might be a problem.
Gotcha.
Hold up. Oh, whoa. Guys, let me talk to your soul right quickly. Whenever that we talk about the KKK, all right? We ain't talking about these people that's running around in sheets, bed sheets, pillowcases up on the head. That's not what we're talking about. But you always have this image in your head because image matters, right? Imagery matters. But we are talking about your next door neighbor. See, you got it twisted. We talking about the manager at your job. We talking about the guy that work on the police department. Fire department, the butcher that's cutting meat at your local grocery store, the nurse, the doctor, the lawyers, the prosecutor, the DA, the senators, the congressman. That's what we talking about. So I said all that to say this. No, the Bloods and the Crips have not surpassed those people because those people are still around. And the crazy thing is those people can get away with crimes that you can't get away with. Can I talk to you? Did you just catch that? Let me bring it back. Those people can get away with crimes that you can't get away with. And that's just the long and the short of it. Just good old-fashioned white supremacy, that's all. Not my words, but the forefathers said it. Thomas Jefferson and all of them. Albert Pike and all y'all Masons and devil worshippers and Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, all of them guys, okay?
But I'm gonna let y'all talk about it. I don't disagree with them.
Yeah. I disagree with that because after Dr. King died in 1968, and there were a lot of uprisings going on in this country. Black people were fighting back against white supremacy, and that was a threat to this society. And the federal government, the FBI, put out memos. They had the COINTELPRO program, and they said, hey, we can't have this stuff going on. We got to do something about these black youths. They're too smart. They're getting on cold with each other, and they're fighting against us. A good friend of mine, T. Rogers, who passed.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace to T. Rogers, one of the smartest brothers I know. A lot of dudes who were in the streets, like Wack said, Wack was straight A student. I know a lot of gangbangers, smartest dudes you ever know. You go to jail with these dudes, they're like rocket scientists. The thing is, you create these circumstances to put these people in. And when you create certain circumstances, of course, people are going to act out a certain way with economic deprivation. On top of that, in the 1970s, they deliberately started to put these psychopathic drugs in the black community. During the 70s, Tookie and Raymond Washington and all those guys, they were all on sherm sticks and acid. That's why they were doing a lot of that crazy stuff. And not to excuse it, because you don't have to do that, but you don't have to put the drugs in the communities either. So we have to look at everything in the full context. How would these brothers act if it weren't for the drugs deliberately put in there, if it weren't for the economic deprivation, and if it weren't for the racial targeting? Because they had something called an alpha list out here in Los Angeles, where they had all of the top gang members on these lists where the LAPD was supposed to kill them. The NAACP and all of these people had to come out and stop them from having that alpha list. So there's the system of white supremacy that's governing all of this stuff.
But listen, look, bro, I hear all that. So are we dumb enough not to know to touch these things, or were we just not strong enough?
No.
Yeah, if I could tackle that, right?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Which one was it?
Yeah, when we talking about this, right? There's Europeans or white people have something called divide and rule policy. Divide and rule policy is something that they used in India, where they was able to divide India, where they would have one side of white people function and help us, one set of India, and then another side of white people function with another set of India, to keep them at odds to fight each other. And they didn't get free from that till about 1946, 44. You got Korea. The only reason Korea is a North and South Korea is because of divide and rule policy. The Russians decided to support one side, America decided to support another, and then they split. Divide and rule policy is what affects us today. Like, if we're talking about what is worse, the Klan or white supremacy versus the Bloods and the gangs, there isn't a torch that can handle it. Think about the death of Martin Luther King and Malcolm. That's a divide and rule policy. Most people looked at Martin as the peacemaker. So you had a set of black people went for the peacemaker. Then you had some that went with Malcolm because Malcolm appeared and looked more militant. He looked more stronger. And then both of them got killed from COINTELPRO, which is what Tariq Nasheed brought out. So now you got sets of black men.
Which is a form of the Klan.
Thank you. That's what all of this is like. We ain't COINTELPRO.
There you go.
Right. And that's because they never disbanded the Klan. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, the Klan is the cop that pulls you over. The Klan is your manager at Home Depot. The Klan is everybody. That's everybody. Now, if you can function like that, you can still deal with them and sit next to them, conduct your business and smile and work with them just like they work with you. That's something that black people got to learn. If a white person wants to encourage or empower white, I'm not against that. I'm just against it when you tell us we can't empower black. We should be able to do that.
Everybody should empower their own.
Thank you. But you know what the threat is? The threat is if we empower ourselves, it would be at the lessening of them. Because as long as we can be divided, you take them Bloods and Crips. Let me get back to that. So the Bible says oppression make a wise man mad. So you kill Malcolm, you kill Martin. You flood us with those drugs, like you say. You put us in a state where we can't get jobs anymore. So now we're just stranded in the neighborhoods, have to work because this is a business. America is an economic country. And so now we ain't got this business, but this white man just gave me this drug. I don't want to sell it, but I ain't got no other choice.
Right.
I'm not excusing them doing it. They shouldn't have. But I can understand the root of the problem. So we're talking about what's worse, that divide and conquer policy that the Europeans don't just implement with us, but implement with everybody. We're seeing the residuals and ripple effect. Blacks killing blacks is an act of civil war. And yes, we do harm to each other, but there ain't a greater murderer on the planet than the white man. I don't care where it is. There ain't a better strategist when it comes to destroying a village or a people and to get them to be sorry for it at the same time.
And when you had...
I do agree with both of those brothers. Now, you have to think about this. How many of y'all have seen bait trucks in the white neighborhood, in the poor white neighborhoods? I'm just asking a question. See, they set traps for black people and then lock them up. How many of y'all have seen trains full of guns just appear in white society somewhere? Some of y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. They literally have box cars full of guns and just pull up through the hood and the train just break down and the doors are open. So the poor people can run in there and grab the guns. Whenever you poor, I'm gonna tell y'all this right here. This is called human conditioning. Whenever you poor, that's where you're gonna have the bulk of your crime at. And I'm talking about the black community. The bulk of probably 90%, 95% of crime is in poor, destitute areas, poverty areas. Whenever it comes to black folks. Now, whenever you get up to that middle class, how much crime is there being committed? And whenever you get above that, to the wealthy, to the rich, the crime literally dissipates. Now, I have said this before, look at white society. White society, the poor white people commit crime, the middle class commit a lot of crime, and then whenever you get to the high class, they commit crimes against humanity. I done said this before. So what is their excuse? Because like how Captain said, who is the greatest murderer on the planet? So don't come telling me about nobody in no Chicago. Don't come telling me about that. Look at what's going on in Ukraine now. Russia. Look at what the other conflict is about in Palestine. Okay. And you have the nerve to come telling me something about Chicago? Okay. Do I think people need to stop killing each other? Absolutely. I do believe that. But everybody does that. Does it excuse it? No. But why is black on black crime highlighted? And I put up a post yesterday, and you should look in the comment section. Go into my community tab, and I put up a post saying that 85% of white people are killed by other white people. Oh, God. Go into the comment section and read it. The goalpost started moving all of a sudden. It grew legs. It literally grew legs. I was seeing something about the cops killing blacks and blacks killing. People just were talking about everything except what I said. I said 85%. And the same thing in the black neighborhoods as well. Same thing in the Asian community as well. Same thing. Well, see, but blacks kill each other 18 times more. We're not talking about that. I said 85% of white people kill white people. Like 88, 90% of black people kill other black people. Okay. It don't matter whether it's per capita or all that. That don't matter. Whenever that I take black people and I say, okay, 88 to 90% of black people kill other black people. That's a fact, a numerical fact. Whenever I go over into the white demographic, 85, 86% of white people kill other white people. That's a numerical fact. It can't be challenged. Listen. Whenever you can put labels on people, then you can justify the harsh and the mild treatment that people put upon you. You understand that? So whenever something happened, oh, he was probably a thug anyway. He probably was a gangbanger, drug dealer. She probably was a welfare queen. You see? No, it's just good old-fashioned white supremacy. That's all it is. That's all it is. Like how Captain said, everybody should be able to empower themselves. I have no problem with white people empowering themselves. But it seems as though in history have bared this out. every time you hear something about white power, somebody finna die or somebody finna get hung or shot or drug or something. Whenever you hear about black power, you don't hear about nobody going hurting nobody. What did the Black Panthers do? They always try to raise the Black Panther. Okay, so tell me, what did they do? Try to protect their neighborhoods, try to feed children. They started the free lunch programs for schools. The only thing they was doing is trying to get a foothold for the community. That's the only thing they was doing. And whenever they showed up with them weapons, the NRA hurry up and changed the laws. Oh, y'all should know about that. Moving right along.
The Bloods and Crips getting together, having a peace treaty in the 90s, that was a threat because the minute they got together, they went after the white establishment. And that's what they don't want to have. So there's always that rift that they're trying to create.
Because can you imagine?
Hold on, Cap.
My bad.
See, we can't do this. Because, see, listen, all right. White guy kills George Floyd, right?
Right.
Shut cities down. They loot. They march. All this, right?
But a lot of that looting was white folk.
Yeah.
Antifa.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of that looting was white folk.
Rodney King.
Okay.
They beat Rodney King right here in my neighborhood in the city of Pacoima, 4 miles from here. Foothill Police Station on the side of Amsterdam Park. They went crazy. That's when, right? Now, how come when Big Sebo shoot the park up and kill little D and little B-Dog and then hit an innocent kid over there, why the community ain't marching and demanding that shooter be dealt with? Why is the only time we do that is when we feel like the so-called white man has done something to us?
Well, Debo is going to go to jail, number one.
Not all the time.
If he gets caught, you're not walking around with bodies on you and everybody knows it and the cops ain't doing
What I'm
nothing.
saying is there's no outrage.
But
Did you just see WACK100 sidestep what Tariq just said? He told you why. The outrage stems from nothing not taking place, no justice. Listen to me. I know a lot of people that have shot people. The minute they find out who did it, mostly everybody that I know went to jail. I don't know about your experience. That might just be my anecdotal experience. But I'm going to tell you, everybody that I know have popped somebody and there was witnesses. That rascal didn't stay long. He went to prison. That's where the outrage come from. Moving right along.
they get arrested, and if you
That's the white man.
right?
That's the white man doing their job. What do we do? Because we get together and say, we finna go hit Rodeo. We about to go loot Beverly Hills because they killed Rodney King in Pacoima.
But that dude who's killing a kid, that's not a community thing. The community ain't co-signing
No,
that.
it was a straight bullet. He
Right,
was
that's what I'm saying.
We
The
back
whole
to Charleston
community-
White.
Right. The whole community ain't backing up that guy. Nobody's co-signing this.
What
dude
are
killing
they
a kid.
doing?
Well, he gets arrested.
That's the white man doing his job.
Right.
What are we doing? And I'm listening.
And
I'm talking to y'all.
Right.
This ain't even for the brother. He can't even answer the question. He a freak man.
No, I'm not. I'm in. He gets arrested before we can do
That's
anything
the
to
white
him.
man. Bullshit.
Right.
Bull, that is a lie.
But when you think about
Really? Who's killing people? Who's killing people
Everybody
walking
here
around?
know of somebody who's a terrorist in the hood and walked around and all they said was, hey, homie, do about that bullshit, right?
And not if he's killing no kids.
No, bro, shit happens.
Because you go to jail. You know, in jail, people don't fuck around with dudes who kill kids
What
or
I'm
hurt
saying
kids.
is, he's not doing that intentionally, but we knew in the process of him killing Debo, we know a kid got hit. Right?
Usually
We
the
know
hood
these
would-
things.
Usually the hood will deal with somebody messing with a
when it
kid.
comes to
I'm
the
saying,
kids, the
I'm
hood-
saying,
right.
overall, when are we as a
And here's the
people
thing.
in our community
Here's the thing.
going to strike back at us?
Here's the thing. When we do strike back, when we do act as vigilantes, that becomes black on black crime again. Because a lot of times when we clap
But that's
back
the
at
only thing
somebody,
you'll be able to be as a
I'm
vigilante.
glad you said that.
But wait, before you
Why
say-
are you thinking like that? You know why?
Why?
Because we have not sat down amongst ourselves and said, hey, we have to police ourselves Right?
Wait. We get charged as criminals and the police ourselves.
Why does it have to be, we got to do some vigilante type stuff?
That's what it is.
Well, that's the word that's used, but what you're saying is what he's saying.
So there's no answer to it?
It is. He's answering it. The Panthers did it. They would police themselves. They would do all of that themselves. And then that still was a threat. Because if we show that we don't need white people to police us, then how can they ever infiltrate us and keep us down? They would never let us alone.
So you don't believe?
I wanted to say one.
Wait, Cap. Go ahead. We need the white people to police us, right?
No, we don't. No, we don't.
What you mean?
We don't need the white people.
Who's gonna police us?
We can. What I said was when
you know who need to police us?
Who?
You punk motherfuckers out there telling them kids. Nah, hold on. Okay. Y'all in the neighborhood. You telling them.
You say how white just keep over talking the gas. The gas can't even make their points. God.
Kids 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 years old who don't have a felony.
Right.
Stay in the hood. Push the hood. Do the things we hood doing. But the minute somebody like me tell them, go to the police academy, you tell them they a snitch. You tell them they ain't no good, they can't come back. The minute I tell them, go to the military, right? Oh, you's a buster, you ain't this, you ain't about that life. See, if we get enough of our people going to the police academy or going to the military, coming back out of the military and maybe entering law enforcement, then we stop having a complaint that OP pulled us over, acting all nervous and shot us for no reason because your nephew and my nephews and cousins, they grew up around us, so they know how to deal with us. They not nervous like that talking to us, right? But you know where it's starting? It's starting in the streets on the block. These so-called OGs. See, being an OG is telling them, go to school, learn how to read and write. Being an OG is telling them, yeah, go to the police academy, come back with those credentials.
Now, here's the thing, Wack. You had a brother named Chris Dorner who did just that. Remember Chris Dorner?
Yeah.
He was a brother militarily trained.
That's the one. I didn't come outside when they was looking for him.
No black man came
I looked too much like did not come outside.
Look, he was looking for the police. He did just what you said, and he saw how corrupt it was. He said, hey, man, these people are evil as hell. I got to take them out my damn self.
Nah, but he said, come on with that crazy shit.
I'm just saying his mentality. I'm saying his mindset.
I think he got rejected with him.
He got out.
Yeah.
But we can't say that's the way to go.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
He was wilding on when he got rejected by the police. That rejection is what caused him to get reckless.
Right. And he was talking about how people were being abused. And he was reporting
and he was trying to report it. And of course, you can't do that. Because
Do you agree that more of our youth that don't have felonies and maybe, you know, they don't have a scholarship to go to college, they should enter the police academy and go to the military?
Some do. We should have more people in law enforcement. We do have to understand how law enforcement is set up. They have police unions where they have certain white people come in and they screen people to allow white supremacists to be in law enforcement. Out here in Los Angeles, you have white supremacist gangs in the sheriff deputy department.
We don't never get there if the OGs in the streets is telling them, you a bitch if you go to the police academy. You ain't gonna be good over here if you go to the police academy.
They don't have to listen to them, dude.
Let me say something real quick, family. The police. I think we need police, but the catch is like how Tariq say. It's corrupt from the top to the bottom. That blue wall, what they always talk about. You're not going to be able to do as though you think you are. What Wack's saying, it sounds good in theory, but in practice and motion, no, because that is the arm, the right arm of white supremacy. That stands between the people, the black people, and the white people. The police does. And they don't want that wall scaled or cracked or none of that. Like how he said, they screen you and see your ideology. Anybody just not going to become no police. And if you get in there and try to do the right thing, you actually going to see that these people are rotten to the core.
Can go,
but they're listening to them.
But they don't even have to listen to these old heads. They could just listen to the fucking radio or any popular rap song that's basically telling you that you ain't shit if you ain't shot somebody.
Do you think it's a problem with that, Cap?
I got two answers. One, when you was talking about the killing, right? The reason why there's no rally to back up Tariq's point when a black kills a black is because they get arrested. They get arrested, they go to jail,
all the time.
It gets handled. Eventually, sometimes, I don't want to make it absolute, but more than not, they get arrested.
George Floyd's killer was arrested and put on trial and everything, and that didn't stop the greatest racial reckoning in the history of our country. Right?
What made the joke? Wait, before I say that, right? But
he was arrested.
Right, but the reason why they riot, the reason why they riot in March when a white kill a black is because nothing ever happens. So now in their mind, I'm going to march to get justice for Eric Gardner. Eric Gardner got choked out on camera. You can watch it. Tamir Rice got shot by a cop.
That was a brother in Eric Gardner. What was that?
Eric Gardner. That was a brother in New York. In New York. He got choked out.
I got my own opinion about that.
Right.
He said, "I can't breathe." You know what would have made him let? You know what they would
let go. They were supposed to let go.
Right. But you know why they didn't let go? Because he said, "I can't breathe." So in the cop's mind, he's still resisting. Why not just be quiet, drop your hands? But in his mind, I'm being choked to death.
Your natural reaction.
But to answer your question about the police and the military, I would be against the military because now you have no control. So you're going to go from so-called fighting each other in gangs to now being in the greatest gang, which is the American military, which goes out and kills whoever it is, and you have no say-so.
You got a problem with Americans? I'm American, Cap.
Boy, here you go. I'm American too. I live in America. I was born in America. I have a problem when that military says, when America says it's wrong for us to take up arms and defend ourselves lawfully in our own neighborhoods, but then I could join their military and go pillage Palestine or pillage Afghanistan or Africa or somewhere else abroad.
That's politics based on running.
That's politics we don't control. What about our politics? Wait, hold on. What about our politics? In our neighborhood, there's politics of how this block is going to be safe again. I remember when I grew up, my mother was Big Mama. So with one of them, it was like a couple of them. So now on that block, there was politics. If I got out of pocket, Miss Royster could discipline me and then come to Miss Gas and tell me about it because there was politics.
That's a fact.
So if we can't politic our own neighborhood, why should we go and politic somebody else's country? So that doesn't make sense.
No, I'm going to say this because I just saw this other day.
Well, family, I'm going to just cut it right there. This is part one. There's definitely going to be a part two to this, but I do agree with what Cap said. How you going to take up arms and go across seas and fight whenever that you going through hell and turmoil here? So that's all that I'm gonna say on that. So salute to my veterans, but some of y'all just need to think. That's all. I'm not bashing those veterans, all right? But Muhammad Ali said it best. Them people ain't did nothing to me over there. It's the ones here, and some people just don't get it. Oh, you always talk about racism because racism is prevalent. But it will be a part two. But until next time, peace. And remember, there is more.